this is a story I got to tell. When I was 23 years old, I a big storm has came that night, and my dog Spot is always scared of storms. Anyway, that night, because I usually bring him in whenever it storms. Well, that night I decided, oh, let me leave him out there. It's probably gonna be okay. I go out there the next morning to feed him. He's gone. But he's gone. I mean, he slipped his head out of the collar and just ran off. And I spent days upon days hollering for him. He had to be at least 10 years old. He was an old dog. I drove myself ragged day in, day out, looking for him. I still go up there and whistle. I put food out there. I don't know if it's him that eats it, but I still put a little bit of dog food out there and something comes up and eats it. I don't know what does, but one hard winter came. We had a real hard winter that came and all at once one time, and then and a lot of dogs that day died. The cold weather got them. They're stiff as a board. About, I'd say, five, maybe six dogs. I brought I brought all cats I could in. I brought Spot in. I gave him a bath, tied him up at my bedpost so he wouldn't go anywhere. Had the heater ripping in my bedroom. I had a heat lamp for all dogs in their dog houses, and they're just curled up and they're just gone. It got negative 15, and that killed all those dogs. 2 years passed after my mom passed away back in 2015. 2017's when Coco died, her dog. Which, I mean, I could tell he was sick. We kept taking him to the vet, giving him treatment, shit. I did the same with my cats. Uh, Obviously, there's parvo like on the ground around here, like a lot of parvo that, and not only that's killed animals here, but mud, just, and then there's that, the coyotes attacking that blue heeler of mine that I had a while back. Um, I had a blue heeler and he got attacked by wild coyotes. One night I set up a camera there, and I saw them walk up. I got a notification. I went out there and I busted them one right in the head with my baseball bat. They were out there growling, probably making fun of my dog. I went out there with my baseball bat and I bounced my bat off of one of their heads. I went bang, and it yipped and like backed up a little bit. And it was like a whole pack of 8 of them. It reminded me of that time on Barnyard. Um, I went on the whistle. My pack. I have a pack of wolves. They came down off the hill there, barking and growling and shit. And then they just like run up and they're like wagging their big tails and shit, like looking at them, and then they're like, and then like the coyotes start backing up and they're like pinning their ears back, like saying they're sorry, kind of like giving us all a sorry look, like we're sorry, but those wolves, they chased those coyotes out. Never saw them again. Heard coyotes the other day again. I blew the whistle. I've not heard a peep since. They don't they don't stick around down here. They like to stay hidden in the woods. Any coyotes come around, they deal with it. Obviously, they got pissed off at a freaking deer the other day, and took that deer to Nipping Town. I went the other day. Buddy of mine, I bought a new Ford. I don't know if I already said this or not. He bought a new Ford, and I fucking we were test driving it. It sounded good and shit. We're like, pack it up, we'll take it. Ford dealership was like, oh, let's change the tires on it. Let's rotate the tires and free oil change. I'm like, I'm a mechanic. I can do that stuff myself. They're like, no, we can mount and balance them right here, right now. And he was like, well, okay. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing it. I'm like, I ain't doing it unless I go back there. They're like, no, no one's allowed back there. I'm like, I want to see how the mechanics work back here anyway. I go back there and dude tries to stop me. I'm like, why are you stopping me for? I'm like, y'all trying to rip my friend off on some crappy ass bald tires and a crappy oil change? Is that what it is? Handed us back the keys and fucking it said have a nice day. My friend was like, what the fuck? They're gonna fucking take his new tires off the truck, put some half. That's what they do. They're all like, let's rotate the tires and blah blah blah, and throw some half-worn pieces of shit on it. And it's like some crappy old rims and everything. Not even the rims that came with it. That was already on it. So I came here and I looked to see if they need, like, my friends are like, they don't need mount and balance. Like, it ain't pulling to the left or the right. It's going straight down the fucking highway. Like, why does it need mount and balance? And I mean, these were so freaking new. They had the piece of paper on the top of them still that like those guys forgot to peel off, I guess, and we peeled it off for them. It was Firestone mud grippers is what they're called, like some high expensive ones. And let me tell you, it's not a full wheel drive; it's a rear wheel drive. It's only a two wheel. Yeah, I told him he's stupid for only getting a two wheel drive because around here you gotta have a full wheel drive to get up roads and shit. Yeah, when I was 23, Zachary, I lost my fucking dog Spot due to a thunderstorm. He didn't like storms. And then what makes it even worse is that a lot of people that I knew back then said that he probably ran away from me because of the way I was treating him. And that hurts, dude. That hurts whenever someone says something like that. I treated him like a fucking king, dude. He was blind in one eye, and I would go up there every day and put eye drops in his fucking eyes. I'd sit up there for hours on end talking to him. Y'all want to know what I told him? I said I'm gonna get me a big old piece of land uh with another another dog like you, and I'm like, and I could see you and her frolicking around and all this and blah blah blah, and he sat there and listened and wagged his tail, and On them cold nights, I'd have to bring him in. My dad wasn't a big fan of me bringing him in from the outside to in, but I didn't care. I'd just, I'd have him in my freaking coat. I would have gotten by with it if he wouldn't have yelped in my coat whenever I came in. It messes with the dog going from cold to warm. It messes with the dog physically. You gotta get it used to, you know, and he was used to just being uh, outside, frolicking here, there, and yonder. But where it was really cold, he didn't have a chance. So I'd bring him in and tie him up to my bedpost. And I put down a little doggy bed and a doggy pad and food and water. He used the doggy pad too. Like I was, he actually used it. It's like I went to piss on it one time, and then he just like watched me, and then he just started going over and pissing and pooping on it because he saw me do it. Because he was pooping and peeing in my floor and on my bed railing, and I had to get him to stop. So I went over there and just took a big old leak on that Dale, and then he like looks at me and goes over there and takes a leak on that pad, and I got him. He had a habit of doing that. Every time he would come in, he would just pee on the pad. He wouldn't go bathroom anywhere else. He would whine if he needed go bathroom. He would go, and then I'd just put down a pad, and he would use the bathroom in it. Man, he was so talented. I miss him. Fuck. I only knew where the hell he went. He was he had to be at least 10 to 12 years old. He didn't have probably a year or two left in him, even at that, whenever he came off the leash. Had all his shots, all that. I gave like 6 times I took uh my cats to the vet to get them treated for the itchy skin and stuff that they had. They had that red itchy shit on their back, that whatever you call it, that mange, and they got treated like I think 3, 4 times a week, every week, and it wasn't cheap. I had to take my rich friend's card and do it with it. And then they started, on top of the mange, they started getting fleas real bad, and then I had to treat them for fleas and mange, and the cost of that just went through the roof. And It was expensive as hell. Basically throwing money away for animals to keep them from scratching. Here's the thing. I was doing a lag wagon with some of Spuggy's friends earlier. I looked. I had 8 minutes left. I had at least a couple more turns, to take it in, like at least 3 or 4. As soon as I hit my next level, I went to load up on him. It wouldn't work. I was like, what the fuck? Then I loaded up on him again, and the some bitch was in his camp. I was like, what the fuck? I messaged him and I said, yo, what happened? He goes, you lost it. I'm like, lost it? How? I'm like, I lost it. I'm like, it's on you. That's what I told him. And I never lose wagons. Never. He's the one that fucked up the mission. And I feel like he fucked it up on purpose.
Impatient, ain't you? Hey, look out!
What I think has happened is he went and did that, and then he turned it into his so-called camp with the 8 minutes left. I don't know what's big that's still in here. Like I don't think I got anything big left in here. Not in my knowledge, I don't know. What, a spirit bear? No, no. I might get rid of those two. See what I get. See how much they give me.
Supplies are good. I'm a happy man. Whoa, what a beauty! Impressive. Not seen one like this before. Well, this is a particularly fine specimen, I must say.
So not only do I get lied to, I get betrayed by Spuggy's friends. It ain't nothing new. Nothing new at all. That's your boy.